Good morning. Okay, so I'm just kind of going to run through a few of the features of BandLab. Now, I've been playing with BandLab for a few days and just having a bit of a play around with the features, and it seems like a really good option for students doing, whoops, for students doing music projects at home. Now, you can use this as either a website or an app, and both seem fairly good, although I'm on the website at the moment. So I use the website most of the time because obviously at work I'm in front of a computer, but the app seems pretty good as well. The other option is Soundtrap, which I've been using, and the app for that I haven't got on fantastically well with, just in terms of inputting either keyboard stuff or drum patterns and stuff using the app. So at the moment, I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards BandLab. Anyway, right, so this is a project that I've just kind of put together this morning. And the first thing I want to talk about is the drum machine. Now, I really, really like the drum machine in BandLab. I think it's really, really fun to use and nice and simple. So if I click on the little drum machine icon there, it'll open up my grid, my step sequencer, and it defaults to the 808 kit. Now it doesn't sound fantastic, but it's a pretty good starting point. You can kind of change that, and you can go through a load of different kind of drum kit sounds depending on what you like, or you can go through all the kind of electronic versions, the pad kits as they're called here. Now I haven't been through all of these, so there's loads and loads to choose from. I'm just going to stick with the 808 kit for simplicity, which sounds pretty good. Yeah, you defaulted to have two rhythms programmed in, so there's rhythm A and rhythm B, so you can kind of see how those look different as we swap between them there. And if you click play, it'll just cycle through those beats, and you can kind of adjust things as you go along. So if I, for example, click play here, I'm just going to turn the volume up on the speaker so that you can hear. Maybe not that much. Let's say I want to adjust the end of this maybe, so maybe add in a little bit more hi-hat, maybe add some open hi-hat, put in an extra, I don't know, an extra snare and a kick beat there or something. Just something simple like that. So you can do that, and you can hear it instantly because it's cycling through, so that's quite nice. Then you've got pattern B, pattern C, and D, E, F, G, and H are normally empty. So I've been having to play around, and I've kind of programmed in some drum beats here, which I quite like. So C and D I've done. E is a drum fill, which I'm not 100% sure about at the moment. I'm kind of making my mind up about that. And then F is another drum fill. So I've left E and F as drum fills. So this is the track. You can see I've started out with 3 bars of drum beat A, and then got 1 bar of drum beat B just to kind of finish it with something slightly different, finish that phrase. Same again, I've got 3 bars of drum beat A and then 1 bar of drum beat B. If I'm wanting to add these in, by the way, if I move my playhead to wherever I want the drum beat to go, if I just click on the pattern that I want, so let's say I want a little bit more of drum beat A, I can just go to this button down here and click add A, and then that will add me in a bar of that drum rhythm. I can then go to the top right hand corner, and I can loop that up for as many bars as I want. So as I was saying, I've done 3 of A, 1 of B, 3 of A, 1 of B. I've then got 4 of drum beat C, which I think this kind of rim shot thing needs taken out because that's a bit of a weird sound. Sorry, this is all a bit of a work in progress. It's not by any means a finished product. But anyway, then I've changed to 3 bars of 1 beat D, and then finished with a fill of drum beat F. So this is what it kind of sounds like so far. So anyway, there we go. That's my drum rhythm. I've then gone on to kind of put some chords in. So it's really easy to do this. If you click on Add Track, it'll pop up with this browser box here, which kind of lets you choose whether you want instruments or drum machines, or use a microphone, or you can plug in a guitar or bass amp. If you've got the equipment to do that. So I'm going to go with instruments. which I did. So I'm going to click off that now. So it just defaulted to a normal piano sound, and I've chosen a kind of synth pad sound. Now you can see that it's, because I'm using a computer, I can use the computer keys here to kind of play this in. So if I were to play, there we go, there's my Z key. I can't really hear this coming through. That's because I've got that on solo, sorry. Here we go. There we go. So I've chosen, I can choose my options down here to change the sound of the instrument, and I can change it. I've changed it to a synth pad, which I thought was quite nice. So in the lesson, we've spoken about adding in chords, and what chords you're going to choose, and then what notes are in those chords. So hopefully you can use that for a little bit of inspiration in terms of what notes you're choosing. So at the moment, I've chosen something pretty simple. I've got a D minor chord, D, F, A. Let's kind of open this up so you can see the MIDI. So D, F, A there. I've then gone for a C major chord. Then I've gone for a G chord, and then what's that? Back to a D minor chord there. So that's the next cycle. So at the moment, this sounds like this. So just 3 chords, nice and simple. And then I've added in some bass lines. So I've added in another instrument. So I've gone to add track, gone to instrument, and then chosen a bass. I think this is a, if I click on this here, where am I going to find it? So I'm not looking for the MIDI just now. There we go. So it's a synth bass, which had a nice kind of sound to it. He says, come on, there we go. There we go. So there's my bass sound, and I've kind of come up with a bass line which I thought matched the chords quite well. If you're using a C major chord starting on C, most of the time I'm going to be having C as my bass note. If I'm using a D minor chord, it's going to be D that's mainly going to be my bass note. So whatever's the root note of the chord, as we've said in the lesson, that is going to be your kind of your main influence for your bass note. So at the moment my bass sounds like this. There we go, and then I've just looped it. And the last thing I've done is add in a little bit of trumpet, because I thought, well, why not? Let's test out the features of BandLab, and that'll be nice. So I've recorded a little bit of trumpet, and I've put some effects on it. So all I needed to do, same thing, add track. This time I clicked on the voice/mic. Now trumpet's pretty loud, so you have to kind of make sure that you're not right next to the microphone, otherwise it's going to be distorting like crazy. So I had to make sure that I wasn't too close to it. I've also had to turn it down. You can see a little bit there that I've kind of turned it down a little bit. And what I've also done is I've gone into the effects menu, and you go to this row here, click on add effect, and it will give you all these options. This is pretty similar to Logic, and you can have a look through what kind of effects you can add. So I have chosen to add a little bit of distortion and a little bit of auto wah. Now for those of you that have kind of done this thing before, auto wah will kind of adjust the EQ, the balance of high and low frequencies, to kind of adjust the sound as you are playing. So now this, if I just solo that, sounds like this. There we go. So it's the distortion's kind of made it really, really harsh. You can see that I've turned the distortion right up the way there. And then the auto wah is just kind of a little bit of a wobble. I haven't really finished playing around with it yet. It's just kind of having a little bit of fun and shaping the sound a little bit at the moment. So put it all together, and so far I've got 16 bars worth of track, which sound like this. So there we go. Plenty still to do, but that's what I've got so far.